Guys, welcome back to an episode of Unmotivated. Today we're going to be talking about settings. Settings. You're either setting yourself up for failure or success.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Just means it's probably unplugged. Now, what you didn't hear, or maybe you did hear, that's Jalil, who's visiting from St. Louis, the good old great Missouri. That state, that showed me motherfucking state. We've got Jamarcus, a.k.a. BetterBest Dog, and Stan, the dog man from Iron Sharp K9 with us. He still can't hear. Technical difficulties are one of the things that we're always going to deal with. But, you know, we're working on getting some new chords for these things. It's crazy because you buy this set and boom, whambaloo bam. We can hear you, though. Can y'all hear him, though, right?
Yep, you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. So you might not hear, but it does sound cool when it's in the headphones, don't it?
Yeah, I can hear these two. I just can't hear you.
Oh, it's okay, man.
Oh, okay.
It's not important. I'm not that important.
I can hear Trev, so I think it's still recording.
No, it's recording. It's just he can't hear the sounds.
Yep.
Point is this, guys. Let's talk a little bit about settings and frame that real quick. Guys, I grew up as a kid what we would consider underprivileged or unprivileged. Just to be clear, there was no privilege in being alive. There was no privilege in being born. There was parents without a plan and parents who didn't know how to parent. So I have a father and I have a mother, but I do not have parents to parent. It's like to be a good coach, and a coach does what? He cares in a way that's unwavering. Now, my dad, when he did come out of prison, he showed me that there was a better way to be. And his fear was me ever going to jail. So he chastised me, but never provoked me. The Bible says chastise your kids, don't provoke them. Now, I was provoked, to be clear, but there was no defense in dealing with Clarence Cochran. He's a dangerous man, and he's still a dangerous man. But I learned a lot, most importantly, how to be who I am today, and that's sure of myself. And he made sure I had no fear. I'll give you a scenario. I bust my knee wide open when I'm probably, 8, 7, something like that. And I'm limping. He grabbed me by my neck, picked me in the air, yanked on my leg, told me I was fine. I believed him. and now when I hit something, I'm like, I'll be fine. but those fears, they get removed early on. But if we talk about settings, you get this term nowadays that social media is perpetuating is what? Generational wealth. Real wealth isn't necessarily always money. It's being able to pass on information. And when you are a Rockefeller, that's information that other people don't have. You're Johnson & Johnson. You're a Gates. If you're a Carnegie, if you're come from the Jobs family, that's information and access to a community of things that I didn't get access to. Yeah, I learned about credit when I tried to apply for my first motherfucking apartment, only to be like, what the fuck is that shit? They know about credit. They do early on. So when we talk about settings, let me tell you this. I was not set up to succeed. I was given an opportunity to fail from the day that I was born. I've chosen to be something that not even I understand as I continue to walk down this road of curiosity to become who I believe, and how many people believe, that I can be. So, guys, if you don't mind, to chime in, you should see their faces. They go, damn, that's a different pace.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't mind, chime in and walk through what you believe you were set up to do in life, or for that matter, not set up to do. And all y'all black, to be clear.
Well, black and Native American.
There we go. That means he even had the worst situation.
Well, yeah.
They took his land, put him somewhere else. You can't get a train going into a Navajo area.
Bro, and that's the thing. And that's where I am so grateful that my mom identified early on that she didn't like her settings growing up, because she grew up on the reservation. And I'll tell you right now, there is nothing going on there. So what did she do? She joined the military because she said she wanted to see the world. And she got to travel the world. And I'm grateful for that because it allowed me to see the world. Going from that, though, she got military. She got more structure. Of course, her parents, pure structure. I mean, when you're in the native environment,
but that structure didn't pass on to you.
Well, that's the part I was getting to, because she still had both their parents in her life. You know, she had my grandfather.
So did she have a mother, or did she have a parent? Because if those skills, we're talking about a skill of parenting. Like, if you have a grandfather that was a stern person, normally the parents, they become that. My dad was dictative in the way he was because my grandmother and grandfather were assholes.
Yeah.
That's the truth. And he was like, and then his own poor choices led him to put his foot on my fucking neck.
And that's the thing, is like my grandparents, her parents, that was the last generation that was generally respected. Like genuinely respected. That's the thing. So moving forward, of course, my mom's single mother, what did I lack was structure. She was military, so she had the structure. But me, I still grew up without structure, a.k.a. no father in my life. And that's where, you talk about settings, man. And most people who grow up without fathers, they understand what that's like. You lack, what was it, Trev, that I lacked?
He had a problem with authority.
Authority.
People. So
There you go.
You know, I learned. I'll give you a situation on that too. I'm at Shawnee Mission, South Kansas, or on the Kansas side, and there's quite a few black kids there. Let me be very clear: when you go into a white environment and there's 5 black kids, they want the black kids to cooperate, and the Negroes are just giving the coaches such a hard time. And so the coach says, "Trev, I don't know how to deal with these kids." I said, "Well, what's their problem?" Well, we got D, Dom, a kid named Marcus, Rock, KJ, and guess what? All of them have in common? They ain't got no daddies.
Yeah.
The daddies are alive, but they are not involved. What does that mean? Every time I say something, the coach says something, a man says something, they get what? Reactive.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to work through that first before I can get them to do 1,000 reps. And you know how you get a kid to do anything you want who's got a reactive mentality? You have to care. You have to be consistent.
Yep.
You have to communicate. You have to spend time with them.
Yeah.
And boy, I was wore the fuck out. But the Shawnee Mission South did better than they ever did when I was around because I understood the importance of structure.
Yeah.
And them, but I had to get the root of it. It was like, yo, coach, what's going on here, man?
Yeah.
These kids are a fucking problem. Oh, none of them got dads.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
And that's the thing. And the lack of authority in my life took me through a roller coaster of bullshit for 10 plus years up until I was 27.
Guys, let's get to this, and we're gonna get to the other places. Look, Jamarcus, can I say you had the 4?
Yeah, go ahead.
He had the 4 DUIs, and let me tell you this: when Jamarcus came in my life, I literally wrote on a whiteboard how much money we added it all up. It was over $120,000,
$150,000.
$150,000 in court fees and
Court fees,
choices,
alcohol, weed,
partying.
good times.
Yeah, and you know what happens is you get to your 30s and those times don't amount to anything.
Yep.
Nope. And I'm like, damn, had you worked on, now we know more about credit. Shout out to Offer Credit.
Exactly.
On this episode, had he taken some of that money or saved that much, he could put it into a multi-complex.
Yeah.
Leverage that 150 at the age of 30 and begin to really create success for his own life. So mind you, 5+ years ago, I wrote that on a whiteboard for him on my wall in an apartment saying, let's take a real look at your life.
Yep.
Let's map where we could have done better. Have you ever taken a look at your choices and what they really cost you? That most people wouldn't do that, and I did. I do that for a lot of people. I'll show up at Cheesecake with a notebook just to tell you about your fucking self.
Exactly. And that's the thing is I didn't identify that I had the lack of respect for authority until I was literally 27 years old, and that was literally when Trev identified, hey, yo, you know what? He's like, you know what you do? You lack respect for authority. That's why you keep doing da-da-da-da-da-da. And then since then...
Can I chime in?
Yeah, go ahead.
So
Go
I was brought up military. My dad was military. He did 27 years in the military, Air Force. And
anytime somebody says it like that, I'd be like, damn, this nigga did time, nigga.
He did a lot of time. lot of time. But that's how I was brought up. So I think my problem is I am too acceptive to authority. Because there's been some times that Trevor's been like, why the fuck do you care about this? Well, this person is quote unquote an authority figure. Yeah. So that's how I was brought up. Yeah. And I was brought up necessarily to go to the military. And
they was setting you up for that. That was a setup.
I mean, it's not a bad gig at the scheme of things. You know,
so I've heard.
You get insurance, you got this, you got that.
But that's what they sell poor people. You do know that, right?
I agree.
You know, it's so crazy. My mom wanted me to join the military.
Of course she did.
And I said
my dad never
no
told me
because
to.
I didn't.
He said, fuck that, you ain't going to the military.
Exactly. I said, no, man. I was like, I don't like, I mean, I work from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. every night.
She wanted you to join because she knew you was a fucking hoodlum.
Hey, that makes sense, though. That makes sense. I mean, go ahead.
The funny part about it is I signed up. And I was literally
got a
one
dishonorable
day
discharge, nigga.
Nah, ain't no shit like that. It happened before. But I was literally going to MEPS the next day, and the recruiter was like, look, we're going to make sure that there's nothing going to go on your background, you know, your shit. And I was making some poor choices when I was in college, doing some extracurricular activities, and they caught up to me. But they caught up to me right before I went. So I was on probation, like literally the fucking day before I was supposed to go to get into the Army.
So they showed up on your MEPS record?
Yeah, it showed up. Like, literally, he was like, we'll check one more time, and that shit popped up. But I'm thankful that I didn't get to go because I would have still been in that military, authoritative, like, this is how shit's done kind of mentality.
Yeah, that robot mindset.
Yeah, and that's just not, it's never been me. So, like, me and my dad, like, we're completely separate people. And I think it's because, like, I'm second. So everybody's like, oh, you're going to be just like your dad. I'm like, no, I don't want to be like him. I want to be my own person. And the route that I took was, like, literally the complete opposite. And, you know, getting into more like a sharper mindset now, like, me and him are still completely opposite. But I take what he taught me in the structure, the military, basically being 10 minutes early for everything, like all of those things like benefit me now in the way that I run my business. but I don't think I was ever meant to really go to the military.
Yeah.
So the setting, like Jamarcus, like you said, you didn't have that respect for authority, and I think I've had it too much. So I think, Trev, like there's two extremes on that aspect.
No,
and
that's life though. So it's a yin and a yang, a good and a bad,
facts.
an evil and an ugly,
Yeah.
and sometimes an evil and a pretty.
I mean, but yours was very ugly growing up.
Oh, it was evil.
In terms of, I mean, I mean, if y'all haven't heard some of the stories, I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of them, and
My dad beat me prison style one time. He tied my mouth up. He tied with the wife beater. He tied my hands up, used a chair, and he cut a water hose and beat me till I was bleeding on both sides. All because I talked back to a teacher. And I kid you not, like you walk in your house, I walked in my house 5 feet afterwards, and he said the only reason why I didn't snatch you off that bus because I didn't want to embarrass you. Miss Valerie wasn't home, which was a woman that he was talking to at the time. And it was about a 30-minute prep. He went from suit and tie to white beater, Caterpillar boots, and gray sweats. and he literally, I mean, imagine, I told somebody, just imagine first someone removing your vocal cords. You don't know what that feels like until, I mean, a white beater, he tied one around and I couldn't, and then he tied my hands up. You guys, and they're behind my back to be clear. And my dad's me, but stronger at the time. Now I'm stronger. but when
Is
you're
that
eight-
one reason you got so strong?
No, I actually got strong because when I was, my grandfather died. I was in prison. I was in. My dad was in prison. I never been to prison. You can look that up. I've not been to jail.
Hey, check the paperwork.
Check the paperwork. Check the paperwork. But while my dad was in prison, my grandfather died, and he made me go live with my grandmother. I went to C.A. Burke, which was in Kansas City, Missouri, and them Negroes used to pick on me because I was smaller. I only picked up weights to keep niggas off me, and it just so happened it worked. But then now the muscles ain't the defense. Now you gotta get active and hurt some people, and so them niggas say Trip. And go back to that name.
Yeah, I was about to say, we gonna talk about that name. We're gonna talk about that name.
We got guns for niggas your size. Hey, now we're not fighting you, nigga. It's like jumping into a boxing match with a gorilla. And if I put my hands on you, if I can get a hold of you, it's not looking good. It's not. You better know what you're doing. And I was.
it's like watching Thanos whoop the Hulk's ass.
And I can take mind you, my dad hit me in my face so many times. One time, my grandma saw my face and screamed. I had to miss 3 days of school, and it's because I missed weights.
Shit.
I missed weights at Hickman Mills High School, and he was like, he went to check, just missed weights. And I walked to McDonald's on 87th Street, and it was my grandma was like, yo, where you at? She called my cell phone. I saw I'm walking back from McDonald's. He was like, yo, dad is looking for you. I go, oh, shit. And so imagine driving at least 2 miles and somebody punching in your face for 2 miles while driving the car straight.
Would you say your settings were traumatizing?
For anybody else, they would be.
That's my point. I feel like for anybody else, like I feel like they would have
you'd
disintegrated at this point.
You'd have been you would have led and leaned into the violence if you were raised the way that I was, and definitely went to jail by now, because the only way you would respond to things is by way of hurt and harm, and you do more harm to yourself. And I chose the latter. I know how to protect myself. I'm not a dangerous person. What makes me dangerous is I'm not going to beat on my chest. Niggas like to fight to beat on their chest. If we get into something, I have to defend myself. It's only one way I think. It's got an end. It's got an end.
So how did you cope with that to make that a non-traumatizing event?
So
Yeah, that was
the
my
irony.
question.
I love my dad so much that I never saw it as a problem.
Really?
This takes you to the place where these women who deal with domestic violence, and mind you, we're going to have to episode one time, but think about this.
I don't think I've ever heard you say that you actually loved your father.
No. Everybody knows that. My mom tell you that. I got videos recorded that I saved and found from old video of my mom. Nobody was more important than Clarence Cochran, which is why when these girls say, what happened? Who hurt you? Sweetheart, you couldn't do the damage that was done to me. you just couldn't. Like, none of y'all going to ever affect that.
And is it because you think he gave you structure and discipline?
No, I was just a daddy's boy. Like, my dad, I was with him, period. I was the only kid. I got 3 siblings. We have the same mom and dad, but he was like, would never take that. My grandma would say out loud, like, hey, don't forget you got 2 other kids. I was with him every time he came out of jail. And so it meant a lot to be around him. So I didn't see it as what some would see, like, yo, I gotta go be tough. He wouldn't beat me or hurt me to be tough.
He was trying to make you better.
In his mind. In his,
But that's the only way. But that's the only way.
With a white beat around his neck, hands tied by his
But
back.
that's
Yeah,
the
and
only
it's
way he
mine.
ever
That's
knew
abuse.
how to show you that, right? because that's
He did. The only way he knew to communicate was through the violence that he was taught. To be clear, and I'll be very candid in saying this: my dad first learned a word that hopefully nobody ever learns: abandonment, when he was raped by his cousin, and his cousin was my papa's son. My papa's sister's son was raping my dad at 8 years old. And at 40 years old, he still had problems. So when I really dove into as I got older, I said, look, man, we got to talk about what you did and how much harm and trauma, whatever. And he said, Trev, your grandfather, as strong as he was, he wouldn't speak up for me. He didn't know how to be there for me. And when I brought this to him when I was a kid, they didn't do anything. And I found out later my papa wrote a letter that he could never send to his own sister about his cousin raping my dad. So, mind you, this kid began to hurt at 8 years old, and nobody helped solve it. Then they brought in 7 foster kids. So when you look at settings and trauma and generational trauma even, he only knows how to react to things when frustrated through violence. And now what do I use? You guys know. I'll hurt somebody, but at the same time, I truly try to use my words and give you a plan and give you a strategy because I don't want to know. I've known violence. I know what it's like to look over my shoulder and be stressed out, can't walk down the street. Like, that's not a good feeling. It's too stressful.
Yeah.
So you go, my settings, mind you, I ran from my settings from the minute I could run so that I could run. I'm running towards peace. I said, if you've watched my stories, you've seen me say it many times. The most powerful thing in life is peace.
Yep.
And that's the only thing that interests me. When this is all said and done, I'm not trying to be famous and have a ton of fortune so I can have it for me. I just need peace. That's it. That's all. So we'll definitely get back to some of my settings. But what are some things that maybe cause conflict in you guys' settings that you believe set you up for failure? Start with the failure and then let's talk about the good. What set you up for failure for real life?
I mean, I think, like I told you, me being too responsive to quote unquote authority. And at Butcher's Place, I saw a lot of shit going wrong, but I justified it in my head because I still wanted to be there. So like when you came out there, it wasn't something new that was happening. Like, he didn't pay me what I should have been making a long time ago, but I had a full-time job. I didn't quote unquote need the extra money. But for as much money as I was bringing in that motherfucker, like, I should have been making a lot more. And I just, didn't know how to ask for it because I knew how he was going to respond. He was either going to say, take what I'm giving you or go try to do it on your own. And I didn't feel like I had enough information at the time to go do it on my own because I was so, you're an old white dude. You've been doing this your whole life, da-da-da-da-da. Like, you're the authority figure. And if you don't think I can do it on my own, I can't. And
But you also, it sounds like you weren't really taught to believe in yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that, and I think it's been me justifying a lot more than how I was raised because my parents, they basically told me I can do anything,
But
I
they
always
didn't show you
justified.
either.
I mean, I don't think they had the best upbringing in their selves to
And
be
that's
able
fair.
to show.
One of the most powerful questions I asked all of my kids is, what do you think? What do you wish your mom did more of? For the ones that only had moms. The ones that had their father, what do you wish your dad did more of? Keep in mind, I mean, that's a tough question for a 15, 16-year-old kid to answer.
I mean,
And
so
Hobbs at 6'6" said, I wish my mom would have taught me to speak up more.
and that's one thing that I wish I would have learned more
Same
of
here.
to be more quote unquote defiant.
And defiant doesn't mean, in this case, going against people. It doesn't mean, starting a riot. It means defiant, in this case, mean more sure of herself.
Yep, standing up. So like, there's a lot of times that I look back, even in sports. Like, there's been times that I knew I should have took the last shot, but I passed because I knew how this person was going to react, and I didn't want to deal with the excess bullshit that I was going to come with. So I just passed it. He missed a shot, but I knew I should have taken the shot, but I didn't want to deal with the extra shit for I don't know, for the lack of believing in myself. Because
It's the same thing I've told you many times. It's the confidence, man.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what to practice, you know how to be confident. First thing my dad made sure I mastered was communication. He literally said, Trevor, you can talk to anybody. You can go in any room and be anything you want to be. Now, what does that look like? Oh, he made me read everything and write him personally a paper. So it was like, not only am I learning words and mastering communication, I'm like, oh, I now know how to communicate. And he would test these papers. He would destroy these papers. So get this. I won an award when I'm in high school for this paper that I wrote. And I'm supposed to be featured in this book. And they host this whole thing. It's like maybe 50 kids were even invited to do this thing. But they're going to do a whole magazine and book. And I just put it in my top drawer. I'm like, I ain't been doing that shit. And my grandmother finds this and is like, yo, did you see this shit, class? This nigga was supposed to be there. She's like, why didn't you say nothing? I don't care.
And that's where my lack of respect for authority came from. My mom would try to do the same thing. She would try to have me read books, try to have me do the papers. But the thing is, she was always a pushover. So I knew how to finagle out of it. And then, so like, she would try to say, hey, this is the consequence.
She's not going to follow through. So
yeah, exactly. So she was like, she knew what the consequences, but I just knew what to say.
My dad told me to be at the table at 5 a.m. reading geometry when I had an F in that bitch. I woke up at 5 one time. He was sitting at the table. If I ever come over here again and you're not at this table at 5 a.m., I'm going to beat you to death. I was at the table at 5 a.m.
I'm sorry, I'm sure could you see Trev's face?
I'm just telling you the truth. Like, your mom's a pushover. Mine's praying to God you fuck up.
But that's,
now go ahead.
Those
Fuck
settings,
up.
those right there.
Fuck up, nigga.
That's how important
I'll be
settings
right here
are.
with you.
And even in terms of structure, I mean, you think about that. Look at the settings that you were brought in, how I was brought up. 2 different settings. Both tried to imply the same method, but one epically failed and one obviously
Man, what's
succeeded.
the worst your mom ever whipped your ass?
Though I'll never forget it. One time, me and my brother, we even talked. It's so funny. We actually talked about this at Christmas, just like this past week. We'll never forget it. So one time we were outside. We were actually living in Germany at the time. There was this yard over here with these gigantic dirt mounds. They were doing some construction. So it was raining out. We were playing in the mud. We come back head to toe. I mean, because it was storming out. We come back head to toe. My brother actually lost a shoe in the mud because he couldn't get it out. Come back.
Some thick ass mud, nigga.
Yeah, exactly. Head to toe, covered in mud. My mom opens the door when she lets us in. We live in these German apartments, and you have to get buzzed in. And she's like, she sees us. She's like, both of y'all just go to the bathroom, take your clothes off, get in the shower. Very calm. Never forget. We go in there, we're taking a shower. About 3-4 minutes into it, the shower curtains swing open. My mom has a wire hanger, and she just starts whipping the hell out of both of us.
So y'all was in the shower at the same time?
Yeah.
That must be a Navajo thing.
Bro, no. Bro, we were young, though. We were kids.
No, I know.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, everybody take a bath and sleep in the same bed. You could draw now. You better put your dick away.
Man, my mom was tight, and I'll never forget it, man, because I remember I had welts. I'll never forget that ass.
She knew that was the only one step she's going to really get out of your
trust
ass.
me, you better believe me. I avoid mud now. So
and Jalil, now walk us through some things that you wish you were taught, or some settings that maybe set you up for failure.
So I'm kind of on Stan's side with this one. How I told you guys earlier that my uncle and my grandpa was my father figures growing up.
Yeah.
My uncle's been a police sergeant for the St. Louis City Police Department for 17 years, right? So I'm kind of, on that side of accepting authority too much as well. My mom, she apologized to me after I graduated high school for not knowing how to be a mom, quote unquote. Those were her exact words. When she was 17, her mom died. And then she had me 4 years later at the age of 21 on accident. So she was fairly new to the whole situation. She didn't know how to raise a growing man. So growing up under my uncles and grandfather's households, they always instilled in me that growing up I was always going to be a, black college man in the making. At the time, I didn't know if I wanted to go to college. I didn't know if that was something that I wanted to do, but I felt like that was being forced upon me at that age. And being so young, I just felt like it was way too much pressure. So when they were forcing that upon me, I was maybe 13, 14 years old. And that was also the time where I was having some suicidal thoughts as well.
Yeah.
My grandparents on my father's side, let's switch that up. My grandparents on my father's side, they used to live in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. And I would go down there for the summers after every school year. And when I came back, I was living with my uncle at the time, and my aunt was literally right around the corner from dropping me off from his house. And I jumped out of her car and just took off running. And that's because I didn't want to go back home to him, because when I was living with him, everything that I was going through was pretty much forced on me. Again, that was a lot of pressure. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing at that age. I didn't even know, how to be a man because I was, raised by a woman at that point.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was running from. And maybe like a few hours later, after roaming the neighborhood for a couple hours, I showed back up, and he had a belt in his hand when I got at the door. But after sitting down with me and having a conversation, he realized I was actually going through a lot, because when I ran away, I tried to jump off a bridge. And it wasn't a deep bridge, but it was a nice filled creek. And didn't work out, so I just went back to his house. Again, after having that conversation, he kind of realized that I needed more of a stronger male presence than what he could provide. So that's when my grandfather stepped into.
What that also means, people, is care. You guys don't know how important care is to men in general. And unfortunately, I've got to say the black word. I tell people I don't hurt a lot, but the coldest thing my buddy Al ever said when he got caught up in it, he said, Trip, you don't nobody care about us. I'm like this. Oh, he's right. So it's a child running directly towards care. Who's going to care? Nobody cares if I die. You're asking yourself all these questions indirectly, but very directly. Someone says, oh, this guy's hurting.
Yeah.
This guy's really hurting it. And sometimes you don't get to see the hurt until it's too late.
Yeah.
So it's good they caught you before you crossed over.
Yeah, and it was at the age where I didn't necessarily know if I was hurting or if I was kind of being selfish towards my own feelings that I didn't even know if I had towards, my mom at the time for not knowing how to raise a man as she told me.
Yeah.
So.
I get it, man. Look, with people, let me pause and say this real quick. We did an episode prior to this, and I didn't like it at all. And I told them, I said, guys, we all talked about being great and failure, but part of this podcast is my goal, at least, to get people to tell the truth. If you followed anything that I've done, I have nothing to lose, literally. We all owe God a death, and it's imperative that when I bring people together, we give everyone our best, period. And you can only be your best when you're telling the truth, in my opinion. Now, you can lie to yourself, but don't lie to me. And so even with him sharing this story, you go, this is a different pace. And finally, I'm getting some out of his ass.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of stuff, like, you got to feel like this is the kind of stuff that people
and
will
it's
connect
definitely
to.
not something that I wanted to share, but, I know I need to share it at this point. So.
See, but I'm saying,
you
bro,
never know who's going to learn from your experiences. And even us, Jamarcus and us doing that, the documentary.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been like, damn, I never knew your story, Stan. I'm like, wait, y'all really ain't been listening. Like, y'all say y'all listening, but I've said it, but I hadn't had as much conviction in that moment because, like, we literally were sitting down having a moment. Yeah. And he's like, Stan, like, just be you. Like, this isn't character Stan. This isn't social media. This is me and you talking about your experiences. And there's still some shit that I'm going to share on a later podcast. Y'all stay tuned, man. And, Trevor and I had these conversations, and it's stuff that, you don't necessarily want people to know about you because they're going to judge you. They're going to look at you a certain way. But
I want them to know everything.
Yeah, but it's fuck them at the end of the day because, again, y'all aren't providing anything. Y'all are going to judge. Y'all are going to say what the fuck y'all want to say, but y'all not going to put no money in my pocket.
But here's the truth, Stan. You only learn hate from the people you love first. That's the part you got to remember. This people. See, some people are worried about haters on it. To me, they're not real. They're not real. But when's the first time you learn to be less than? It's normally by your own fucking family. And even the worst, the people, your friends. Yeah. And as I said, another thing is people sitting next to you. So when's the first time you learn hate? You don't hate somebody you don't know. You hate the person that you thought you could trust.
Yep. And they showed you that you couldn't.
Yeah. So that's the first time you learn hate is by someone you love.
Well, I wouldn't even say the first time because I give people the benefit of the doubt, and that's one thing that I learned from Trevor. Don't.
The statement itself is a contradiction. Where's the benefit of doubt?
Yep.
So
I had that problem too.
Doubt. I'm gonna give you the benefit of faith.
Don't.
If I was gonna say something, but I wouldn't benefit anything if I didn't believe in you.
Yep.
But if you have doubt, it's funny because you're not a Marvel person like that. But the Iron Fist. Man, it's not good.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch all these damn Marvel movies.
It's not good, but one thing they say in there is doubt leads to death, and that stuck to me.
I feel you.
And you go, You already know I ain't had no doubt in the first place. So I'm like, I should have never heard that one. It's over now. But settings, when we're talking about settings and growth and opportunity and success and failure and how we were brought up, and Jalil now sharing a very honest moment of uncertainty. He was set up to fail because someone was unprepared to support his life in this world. I feel the same way. There was kids raising. My mom had me when she was 19, bro. What does a 19-year-old know? I was 19 once. I didn't know shit. And even if I did, I didn't know. I know for a fact. I know I wouldn't want to be nobody's fucking parent. That's for damn sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So you go, I'm telling you right now, I'm 35 years old now, and I still don't want to be nobody's fucking parent. But I repeat, I knew at 15, 16, I want no fucking kids, and maybe it was 13. They're like, oh, you'll change one day. Fuck that.
Yeah. And my parents tell me that all the time. Every time we had a family gathering or something and somebody brings up kids, and I'm like, oh, I don't want any kids. They'll be like, give it 10 years. Shit have changed. I'm like, no, I don't want any kids. I'm certain at this point.
And see, if I didn't have any kids, I'd probably be dead. I mean, that's a true statement, because when I had my first daughter, I would say I'm a little mannish. I like women. And I've had some encounters, but I never had any
That
scares.
brother's telling the truth. He's getting right to the chase. He's like, I locked me a few of them blokes. Knocking them down,
I like it.
Knocking them down. I loaded me up a few. It didn't turn out the way I wanted, but it worked out. I got for kids I need.
But I've never had any scares. I've never done any of that. But when I did need to literally have a kid is when I needed to have a kid. Because I didn't have any purpose. I didn't have anything that I was really living for. I went to college because, I got a scholarship. I didn't give a fuck about it. I didn't know
let
what
me
the fuck
go
I
back,
wanted.
Stan. That goes back to the settings, man.
Yeah.
The kids save your life. Shout out to the kids. And, Stan, I know for a fact he does talk about his kids quite a bit. And he loves his kids. I do believe that wholeheartedly. But I would say this, settings, man. There are more kids, white kids that I've met, and Mexican kids, and so many other, even stories we watch where parents poured faith into these people, right? They set them up and exposed them to everything. So you look at the settings, you're set up for success or you're set up for failure as a black man, it's already odds. Everything's against you.
Facts.
It's never been a person who actually want to be black.
No.
It's like, I'm going to act that way, but look, when it's time to act right now, I nobody want to be black.
No, nobody.
There's no place where black men can go and be safe. And for that matter, I don't think black women can either. But I know for a fact, if I walk in any room, I'm not a small person. I make people uncomfortable. And guess what? Now I've got Jamal, who's 6'4", bigger than me. And I got, we got Ab, I got some associates with me now. Everybody's 6 foot and some changing up. It looked like dinosaurs walking around.
Yep.
Even Rich, my homeboy Rich, I remember we gonna get him on here. He was not feeling with. He said, "Yo, this nigga Trevor like he Hunt Wells." If this nigga was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go get some food," you're like, "Yo, where you hunting at?"
Monstars.
Hey, that's one reason I started eating more and working out, because I was too little next to Trev. I said, no, I'm not gonna look like a string bean. Hell no.
And mind you, I never know that the size significance difference is like till you take a photo, you go, "Damn, bro, that joker is kind of small."
Hey,
What
man.
that photo
Call
with
me Mighty
Ego,
Mouse, though.
Ego at what, 4 months
Yeah.
old? I sent him a picture. I said, yeah, I ain't little no more.
But that's the beauty about it. So even when you're saying that, I'm a reminder, I respect everything you're saying, and the kid being the person that gave you a little reason to slow down and even think more about your life. You're like, yo, this child helped me repurpose and think more intrusively about why I need to be here, because now I need to be here for this, which then turn around, you find, oh, I really love dogs. You find your purpose. But let me tell you this, man. If you're a good parent, and you really want to set your kids up for success, then make sure that they get exposed as much as possible, because those settings, start to finish, they matter. They matter. And I've got kids,
100%.
Shout out to my guy, Jack. I can't wait to get my guy, Jack, on here. But Jack's a white kid who's called me crying. Think about that. I know I got some black kids that I've helped raise, per se, and just been a part of their lives. But he called me crying one time because his grandmother died while he was in Germany. He said, Trev, how did you deal with it? You know what type of pride you got to put aside to call somebody? FaceTime. Bawling. I kid you. And I remember lifting the phone up because I'm like, damn, I'm going to cry. Why did Jack cry? It didn't feel good. And you go, wow, I don't know if I could have done that at his age. And he's, 22, 23 at the time? Settings. His settings provided a level of safety where he doesn't never feel like he can't ask for help. My settings provided this so-called strength where technically I should never ask for help. Figure it the fuck out, nigga. That ain't the way of life. And you wonder why every other community outside of us normally achieve a level of success that we don't, because they work together. They literally work together, build together, own hospitals together. They buy properties together. They put 4 or 5 families in a house while everybody's getting money, and they go buy other things. You say, oh, that makes sense. Niggas can't walk down the block together without somebody getting hurt. Don't let 5 of them show up. Yeah, that's my point. Don't let 5 of them
Crab
show up.
in the bucket.
So now let's talk about the settings then on the success side. What does success look like as you continue, as you try to figure out what those settings need to look like so you can for one, get out of your own way, for 2, be successful? Like, what do those settings look like as you set yourself up for success? And I'll finish it out with, even the things that I do and had to do to really keep an open, like a positive mentality, man. Because I'm telling you, every day I wake up, for a long time back in the day, I felt like the world was out to get me.
Yeah.
I've been there, people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, definitely getting around the right people.
Yeah.
For sure. I like to, like you told me, I need to spend more time with Mustafa. And whenever he hits me up to go hunt, I'm going. I don't give a shit if I ain't slept all day. He be like, hey, we meeting at 10 o'clock. We going to be out here till 3 in the morning. Hey, come on. And every time we go, because you get around those people who've done it. Like, stop getting around people who've pretended to do it and get around people who've actually done it. And they've done it by putting in the work. And we got to get him on here, the podcast, talk about his story. I mean, that shit is 6th grade.
Hold on. Are you telling me you can get Mustafa over here to do a podcast?
Bruh.
I don't believe you.
You don't believe?
Just remember.
Shit.
Remember Stan said that.
Exactly.
I don't
we have
believe-
it documented.
Now, mind you, Mustafa's, let me be very clear. I've met him. Super great guy. When I tell you that dude's so down to earth, I won't tell you how much he's worth. but what I will say, he owns a lot, but there's a kindness to him. And I tell you, I think some of that kindness is due to what Stan has shared with me in terms of his story. But keep going, guys. So your settings, the positive outside of the settings, clearly is you being around people like Mustafa. And what else, Stan?
I mean, getting around people that are going to challenge you to be better, that want more of you. When you told me that you would pay me $2 million with an M to go away, I was like, wait, hold on. Like, wait, how much can he make off of the information that I have that I don't even believe that I know? Okay, there's more that I need to do. Yeah. Get around people that are going to challenge you. My best coaches, my favorite coaches were coaches that we didn't really teach me basketball. Like, basketball is a feel. Like, you can't tell me when to cross over. It's a feel. But you can teach me how to be disciplined. You can teach me how to be more confident going into the paint. You can teach me structure. You can teach me all of those things. And that's what, me personally, that I need, because I have no problem putting in any amount of work. And there was one time that I think I asked you for a workout, and Jamarcus was like, Stan's going to regret it. And you literally told him, like, no, Stan puts in the work. He don't give a fuck. He gonna do what he need to do. Yeah, and when you said that, I kind of smirked a little bit, because I'm like, I ain't got no idea what the fuck we finna do. And still, after the workout, I'm like, damn, I didn't imagine any of this. But Trev knew I was gonna do it because I wasn't gonna quit.
Yeah.
He got that competitive bone in him, which, if guided correctly, gives him a competitive edge. Yeah. People like me was like he said, I'll give you this money to go away, brother, because I'm leveraged at its highest level. And mind you, I still learning about that word and how to apply it even. And shout out again to Jamal, because he gives us this leverage, and our work gives us that leverage. This is why we got to work towards something. So you go, if I make this much, and it's all a numbers game at the end of the day. Yep. How much can I put into an area where I believe long term it'll grow? And at this moment in time, I'm probably one of the best investments anybody could make.
Yep, and like Gary Vee says, it's better to be number 10 at Facebook than number 1 at Facebook.
Hey,
and I'm fine. Me personally, I'd rather not be on camera. I'd rather just do the fucking work. I don't want to be
bothered any more than this dude. But
I agree.
It
but
has
I have
to work.
But
it
I
only works if I do it.
And it only works if I. No. I'm not saying it only works, but I'm a very big asset if I do the fucking work as well. Mm-hmm. And that's motivated me to get to the point where it's like, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna talk about what I do to these dogs, because when I get the dogs, they're shit. When they go home, they're better.
There you go. And Jalil was I mean, anybody can chime in. I ain't gonna call your name, and that's
I honestly don't know how to answer this question, because I still am at the point where I'm learning what success is.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning who I am as a person.
That's huge though too, bro. Yeah. Just remember, he said that people, what I love about that particular statement is in the future you'll see Jalil in a different state of being, and I got some things I'd love to clean up as I look at his presentation, and even leaning into things that I think would suffice and be conducive to his growth. But just of it is the most powerful thing you can say sometimes. Now, mind you, I don't allow it, as I'm not sure. But I would, I don't mind asking for help. Because if he's here, trust me, he's here because he can help me. And I know for a fact I can help him. And if he's here, then I know for a fact he's going to get better. And if we get better today, then he could be better tomorrow. That's the beauty about it all. And so him not knowing isn't the worst thing in the world. Him not trying, that's the worst thing in the world. What would you say, Jamarcus?
I would say definitely just don't be embrace being uncomfortable, because that's exactly what all this is, man. When it comes to settings, and if you have the right settings,
But that's look.
Go ahead.
When you say embrace being uncomfortable, Jamarcus has played hockey at a high level, yes or no?
Yeah,
What's worse than losing?
bro, it fucking sucks.
Like you never feel good
Never.
losing a fucking game. If you've ever played
Never.
sports, so when you say it's uncomfortable, put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, there's nothing worse than losing, in a sense, right?
Yeah.
So in your case, practice didn't feel comfortable,
No,
but you had to do it.
I actually was the only one pushing myself though in that practice. That I do miss that competition right there though. I remember how hard I used to push myself in those practices. Even when I was getting punished, I was like, I loved it.
Yeah.
Well, I see when he shows up, nigga. That's just a message, nigga.
Nah, he ain't one the bullshit though.
No, I don't know. I don't. But look, I'm from the show me state, nigga.
I feel you. I feel
And when
you.
if it show, I'll tell.
Yeah,
I'll tell everybody. Look,
And
I
we
read a
gonna-
message at motherfucking 7:46, December 28th. Mustafa said he's down for 4 podcasts. Say less. Bring him to me. It's like this. Bring him to me. I will do the rest. I will do the rest. I will make sure they are good.
That's the
Okay?
easy part.
Yeah, that's right. Get him
But
to me. And
I
it's a
mean,
wrap.
but you see how many people I brought around. I brought Jamil,
Yeah.
and then it was Henry.
No. And mind you, every one of these people, including Stan and myself, we have to grow too. And I'm growing in this moment, people. Mind you, it's hard to be a leader. So I have to look at these 3 guys and you go, guys, we just talked for 49 minutes about fucking nothing.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not fucking good. This isn't going to work. Yeah. This is the 25th episode, and we did things that I just don't think I would have done had we not done all the work the prior year to get this going. While I'm projecting getting to episode 100 and what that looks like, and I want people to feel like they're getting something out of this. Fucking Stan knows, Jamarcus, I fucking hate podcasts with a passion. But I'm like, you know what? It could turn into something. It could give us leverage. Mm-hmm. Well, let's see how much leverage we can acquire by way of casting the pod, a.k.a. the hit 'em with the rod. So, but at any hoot, I think when I hear people say uncomfortable, most people are uncomfortable going to work every day, 9 to 5. I've never met a person, I can't wait to go to work tomorrow. Nobody want to go to work on Monday. Nobody want to go to work on Tuesday or for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They just don't. It's not real. So when you say uncomfortable, I got to find a new way to frame that, because there's nothing more uncomfortable than doing the same shit over and over again. That's uncomfortable. And the beauty about this is that there's no day Jamarcus wakes. As a matter of fact, nobody ever knows what's going to happen. They're like, what we going to do today? I could pop out of bed and say, look, I bought 1,000 firecrackers. Let's go out here and see if we can, if the dogs get scared. What? That video going to go, though. And mind you, it is desensitization. Why? Because 4th of July is one of the days it's like the number one day for a dog to run away from his owner or get hit by a car, in a sense. And to have fear. It's a real fucking problem. So I'm not even doing it to be funny. It's like, yo, how many black cats should your dog hear in a year? Well, let's find out. So fast forward, when he's saying uncomfortable, I'm not going to say him
So
saying
did you
it
get any
bothers me.
firecrackers?
No, I didn't, but I might.
Hey, you go before the new year, nigga.
I'm telling you. So when he say uncomfortable, I go, I personally don't know anyone who's comfortable. And the beauty about it is, as I listen to the billionaires, and they're not comfortable, which is why they keep striving for more. Matter of fact, them not having a job or making all that money and having nothing to do, that made them uncomfortable. They're like, well, what do? We just sold this for $4 billion. He's like, shit, let's go to work tomorrow. Literally, it's Kevin O'Leary talks about it. He goes, we sold that thing for a bunch of money, and we are like, well, what do we do tomorrow? So shit, let's go figure out what to do next, because it is unlikely, if the Bible's true. Mind you, guys, I'm just saying. I'm not. It's a King James version of a book. The idea is this, though: if the Bible's true, a man was put on this earth with purpose. I'm gonna tell you this: there is no purpose for a man to sit around and do nothing. So it's unlikely that you're ever comfortable. Even when you're being great, you're not comfortable because you're thinking about what else you could do to be better. So it's hard to perceive that you got to get uncomfortable when there's nothing in life that provides comfort outside of a couch that might have super good pillows and a therapeutic bed or one of them sleep with beds that you like, boy, this bed is comfortable as shit. But even then, you wake up and you say, what the fuck did I do? I got to get up and do something with my life.
Yeah. What he said. That was what I was trying to say right there.
In a nutshell, he just summed it up for you.
He just summed it up for
That's
me.
Cliff
So, yeah.
Notes. That's Cliff Notes.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's Trev Notes.
If you want that straightforward version, that's exactly what it is.
But go ahead. No, finish your thought, though, man. It was a good thought. I really do be trying to think about how I repurpose things because I know people on both sides. And even, when you talk to, if we get a chance to talk to Mustafa, I'm tell you right now, Mustafa, what makes you comfortable? He'll probably look at me crazy. And I will have the camera rolling because when you talk to wealthy people, they're never comfortable. They're never comfortable. They're like this. What do you mean? Like, that doesn't make sense. And in this case, the only thing that might make him comfortable is knowing that his kids don't have to worry about food. The wife is safe. The house is good. Past that, he's at work the next day.
That's gonna be an interesting conversation. And even so, we went dove hunting one day, and we didn't shoot no doves. We literally was walking around looking for doves, and we just chopped it up.
Yeah.
And we had some really good conversations, and it's like literally the same shit that you and I be talking about. And it's very interesting to see that there's no cheat code to it. The shit.
No, bro.
Everybody that's successful, everybody that has everything that you want in life, they put in the work, and that's the ultimate. You put in the work. There's no fucking cheat code, and everybody wants some advice or some tip. Put in the fucking work, and he, like you said, if he gets $1 million off of one deal, you know what he's doing the next day? He's going to work.
Yeah, that's the truth.
He got 52 stores that
about that,
probably
baby.
all make.
I mean, even if the 52 stores make $100,000 a year, which they make way more than that, to be clear, I'm lowballing. I'm lowballing so low because it's Mr. Tires, right? Mr. Texas Tires.
Texas Tires.
So look up Texas Tires. Like even if 52 stores make $100,000 a year and do $100,000 in revenue, godly, he's still clearing. So for every 10, which is 50 of them, he's doing $1 million. So we're at
and that
5
doesn't
million.
include the lift kits that they custom made. That doesn't include the tires and rims that they custom made.
There you go. So he customizes other things to upsell you some stuff. Oh, you need these tires. Boom. People. Point is lowballing $5 million a year with at least a 30% margin puts him at roughly 1.7, 2.5 if we're like highballing in profit.
Yep.
Which means he gets to put at least $900,000 in the bank.
And you meet this and you meet him and you be like, you wouldn't even
Dude's
think
wearing jeans, boots, and a white T-shirt.
dirty at that.
I wasn't gonna say that, but you said it.
But he put
I was
in the
gonna
work.
say he don't even be, he gets beard ain't shaved. but what the beauty about this individual is, like I said, there was a kindness, there was a sincerity, there was a genuineness nature to this. He was authentic as fuck, bro. And I met him also. I actually wish I did meet him the way I met him.
I was literally gonna say that after you stopped talking, I was literally gonna say Trev wish he would have met him through me versus who the person he did.
Yeah, we're not gonna name names, but I'm gonna say this: who you meet people through also matters.
Yep.
Because that's the setting. If I meet you through a sucker, you're gonna associate me being a sucker.
A sucker ass.
But if I meet you through somebody that has respect or is got some dignity to him, you say, man, you was with that motherfucker, bro. And so every time you see me now, your face is like, oh man, how you doing? I remember that time such and such. But if you meet me with someone who's indignant,
a bum.
oh God. Now I'm associated with bum behavior. Bum behavior, yeah?
Yep. And
So
that ain't
look,
it.
guys, as we kind of try to make sense of the setting thing, people, let's be very clear. I don't think any of us had bad childhoods. I don't think any of us had great childhoods. What I do know we didn't have is super great childhoods. And then when you get into this world, you say there's nothing for us out here. So let me ask you this, guys. What do you think the world actually has to offer you as a black man?
Everything.
Be honest.
I mean, realistically, everything. If you have something to provide for the world, you can get anything that you want. I mean, and you're a testament to that. Like, there's been people that want to bring you overseas, and you can literally get anything you want because of what you provide or what you offer to the world. So if you have something to give, you have everything. And all the cultures, all of the people, they want to be black until it's time to be black.
Man, say.
I think I heard you say even I forgot who you quoted, but you said being black is a superpower, right?
Yeah, my dad, he said, "Yeah, you'll be straight, bro." He said, "Just remember, as long as you're educated, you'll be fine." And he educated me, and I'm tell you, I'm not afraid to die, live, or be the best I can be.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, that's what also opened my mind, even being half Navajo too, is to want to explore my culture more, even just doing things by film. And I would have never even thought about that without being in the right settings.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's my take on that.
But you, Lil?
That's a hard question for me to answer because I haven't put much into the world to even know what to receive back.
That's a good framework. It's good framing. Like, yo, what do I actually need to do to ensure that I one day can get something out of this life?
Yeah. And that's not even me saying that, I put a lot of effort into something that I'm expecting something back. If I do something, I'm not expecting anything back.
That makes sense. And you're not expecting anything because you don't have expectations, or why?
That's just, I don't know. That's just how I've always thought about something.
Well, let me be clear. I don't expect you to be able to give me a bunch of stuff back, but I expect me to be able to leverage what you know, and even more importantly, give myself some every day. So if I had to revert to first-person camera without Jamarcus's help, I would do so, and nothing would change. It'd be the same integrity. I would just find a method to get the information out, and it would still work because I'm gonna do the work until I figure it out. And if I had to do 1,000 reps, just easy 1,000 reps of life, because I asked myself this: what else am I gonna do? I can't be less than. Mm-hmm. I can't go backwards.
Yeah.
I can't pretend like somebody's gonna be in charge of me. I can't go work for nobody. I can gladly work with people. As Stan asked you in one of the other episodes, when you told me to do this and about the lizards, did I ever question you?
Nope.
I didn't say one thing. I might ask another question so I'm informed, but I go,
You didn't question my intelligence on the topic, though.
There's nothing to question, bro. And I brought you here so you could help tighten this up, and even more importantly, so I could share your intelligence with the world.
Yep.
So we talk about settings. I brought you to another setting where you get to grow, and I do too. That's a bit. See, you think it's about you. I love growing, bro. I literally couldn't think of a better way to live and die. Now, mind you, I love being in the bed, minding my business, but I love, when I say love growth, I couldn't sit too still for too long. Like at some point, I'll get in there and do me another bag tonight. It takes me about an hour a bag when I'm building my Legos, right? But that's my time to go. Look, I need to achieve something today. So that's all we've done. 2 podcasts, went out there, smacked a few videos with the dogs. Yep. We've did the man's best friend. I picked you up at 7 o'clock, went to bed at 2:30. We're now talking about growth and greatness and what it looks like in the fucking future, our settings, how to improve.
And today went by super fast. It's about to be 8 o'clock.
And mind
that's
you,
every day, bro.
After all that, I'm still going to go in there, boom, and I still want to cut a few clips from it looks.
I was about to say, and if you staying here, your night not over, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
It's early.
I wish I could sleep over here and be like, wake up in the morning and do some more shit.
You know
what? I got family.
You know what I love about that too, Stan? No, is that Boyer told an 8th grader one time. He says, "Bro, if I was you, bro, if I could do anything in my life over again, I would go back just so I could start with T-Fit in 8th grade."
Boom. Right?
Think about that. And that's me, to be clear. Like,
I would love to be around y'all 7 days a week. Do you know how much content? Like, I post. I feel like I post a lot, but if I was around y'all,
let's get into
I would have posted a lot.
We gonna finish. We gonna talk about this, and then we gonna close this setting was out. So let me tell you what I fussed with Stan about. Stan didn't understand the importance of community, right? And I think you're learning it now, right?
Yeah. No. I knew it and I tried, but I didn't have the right community.
There you go. So it become jaded.
Yes, and it was fucked up because people were trying to just use, like, I have so much to offer, and they would use that shit, but they didn't want to pour back into really what was funding it. I was probably making Butch $10,000 a month.
Oh shit, that's $100,000 plus a year, people.
How much?
Just off of one person,
bro. Fuck,
child's play,
pennies on the fucking dollar.
Child's play.
So
Butch didn't see it like, oh, he's making me this. I can get 2 more people to do this.
But that's what he didn't realize. It's like, look, bro, you could literally been sitting in the fucking house making 200 plus K if you would have paid me $100 more a dog. And he didn't want to do that shit. And then when he told me he didn't want to give me $100 more, and then one day he fucked up by giving me a check to this crackhead bitch who was out there, and she was making more than me. And I was editing her videos. I was fucking training her dogs. And she was making more fucking money than me. That's the day he fucked up by giving me those 2 checks. I had 5 dogs on my check and she had 1. And them bitches was close. So when Trevor came out and he was like, "Boy, what the fuck y'all doing? Like, you need to do this. You need to do this." And when he said that, I'm like, "You're right."
And I don't even know what's going on, bro. I'm just learning this now.
Yeah, he ain't know none of this shit. I ain't never saw this shit because if
I look at operations. That's
when he met her, he was like, "Bro, why this fuck crackhead bitch out here?"
Oh, yeah,
She was
we
making
her
more.
name, but
She was making more than me off of every fucking dog
ludicrous,
that I
bro.
was training, bro.
And you have been there longer than her.
Way fucking longer.
He's just better.
Bro, literally, people were bringing fucking dogs thinking I'm training them. We were getting 10 dogs every fucking 2 weeks, and I would train 3. But those 10 people thought I was training the dogs. The only fucking reason they were bringing the dogs out there was because of me. But I didn't know business. I was learning something. I was making $700 off of 3 dogs, which is technically a lot of money. I had a full-time job. I didn't need it.
Yeah.
But bro, I should have been making $3,000 off of those fucking dogs. I should have been.
Yeah.
But I didn't know business.
So he was taking advantage of you because you
He
didn't
was.
know.
And you know, you can't blame him. He's a hustler. Like Trev said, hey, that motherfucker gonna be straight till he dead.
I mean, that Stan got into I'm about to. I said, you're not gonna change a thing, bro. Because he was rich before, or he was doing well before. He
wasn't doing well. He was paying his bills.
And that's the thing.
And at 70, I don't even know how old the motherfucker is. At 80, I don't want to just be paying my bills. If I'm doing anything, it's for my grandkids.
Paying their bills.
Paying their bills. So they don't have to do shit. But he literally had to fuck people over to make a living. I don't ever want to be in that place.
So them settings change all the Stan's life and where he's headed, man. And, you know, we'll talk about community in another good episode because, and mind you, people, I'm going to frame it like this so when you hear it, I told Stan, and Stan's come to me, and we talked about very personal topics, but I would just say this. Everybody, including myself, as a kid, go through a tough time, right? You're trying to fit in, trying to stand out, you don't know what to do, and he's got a daughter who was maybe struggling a little bit. And I just told him, I said, you know, part of community all of the times is think about the bigger picture. So even the area he moved in puts him away from growth. And it's not growth economically, it's as a human. And community is what shapes us, right? But because he didn't learn that as a kid, then he doesn't know the importance of why someone would move to, let's say, a Highland Park here in Texas and put their kid in the private school, even if they're at the low level, to make sure they have the best chance. Isolation is not good for humans. It is, and even myself, to be clear, I enjoy having Jamarcus, and I literally brought Jalil here. I look forward to the Thursdays when Stan comes up here and gets some work in. It is human for us to need human interactivity. It's like it's unrealistic for you to think that you're supposed to be isolated, right? It's not even reality. In your mind, you're like, I'll do this by myself. Yeah, you got to. But it is realistic for, you know, us to coexist on a team. We all get a little bit better when we're around better people.
So you tell me this a lot that I should have moved out there. I should have moved into a more dense populated area. And yes, long term, but I need it to be where I am, to do what I do, to make what I make, to be able to even come out here every Thursday.
But he also thinks that's the only way. That's limited thinking.
No, it's not the only way.
There you go, though. See, now Stan's thinking, so in his mind, in your mind, I'm just talking about his mind, like he's third person. He's sitting right here. In your mind, though, you never really took a close look. You just said out loud you had no sense of business in Bush used you. Mm-hmm. And I know he was, because I was like, what the fuck are y'all doing? And then when he told me some of his numbers, I go, oh, hell no. Yep. That price got to raise by this much. And he raised his prices. But when we look at the business and even him embracing fame and notoriety, you go, Stan, you do know I potentially could have got you in. Well, I don't want to do that. Well, here's the thing. Let's say we get him into 4 apartment complexes downtown where 60% of the building has dogs. And I know the fucking guys who built the whole property. I don't want to train apartment dogs. Yeah, you don't want to for forever, but you might make $500,000 in the first year and build a structure where guys like Jamarcus, Jalil can come here, live in the apartment complex because they give you a penthouse to live there for free and train their dogs. Oh, why does this work? Because they did it with my uncle when he was training Mark Taylor Properties. Hey, if you ever need a place to shower or something, we got a property we just kind of lend out to people, stay there whenever. It's a display, and if you need to crash there, feel free to crash. If you really get rocking, like, hey, you're a dog trainer, we own all three of these things, you guys can live in one of the houses up here for free. Now you downtown making $500,000 a year training dogs. And your kids, downtown schools, let's be honest, they're not the best. But Highland Park is right up the street. And now you can afford to send that kid there where it's not about the community, it's about the exposure. Because when she gets in contact with Mark Cuban's kids, what happens when you're at Mark Cuban's house and you train dogs? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So in your mind, you isolate yourself, and this is just me again repurposing the way he thinks. Yep. He's isolating himself to this environment. I need, you don't. You don't know what you need because you don't know business. You never thought about the business. You thought about yourself and what you wanted to do and how you wanted to feel, how much control. Because I told him this too. All you did was move and create another Capo Canine. What needs to change in the world of dog training, and where's the business at?
And that's what we're on.
And mind you, that's why I said we'll get into the community importance of it, but that's why Stan comes too, because as he slowly but surely gets out of his own way, gets out of his own head, I help him think about the bigger picture. Making 100,000, 500,000, two different thousands.
It's a couple. it's a couple of different.
And then you turn around and you say, hey, guess what? Jalil wants to come out to Texas. Jalil, come here, learn all my techniques. I'm going to have you run this whole thing. Now Stan makes 200,000. Jalil makes 300,000. But Stan gets to go move to the next place. Yep. While connecting to things. The most leverageable thing in life is humans.
And that's one thing that I've learned. I need to start putting everything that I do on paper so we can scale it. Yeah. And it's been it's literally probably the hardest thing I think I've ever done. Like I've been collegiate athlete. I've been in very high levels of basketball, like not like professional, but we, one state, one, AAU, stuff like that, all growing up. But this is literally the hardest thing I think I've ever had to do was explain what goes on in my head when I look at a dog. Because there's so much.
It is. And every breed is so different, right?
And every breed, not even every fucking breed. Every dog is different. You can give me a German Shepherd, but this German Shepherd's different than this German Shepherd.
It's annoying.
And I mean, it's annoying, but that's one thing that I love so much about the dog world, that every dog is different. It's never the same thing. I do the same thing by teaching a dog a recall. I do the same thing about teaching how the dog how to bite. But every dog is different.
It's a beautiful thing, though, because it gives you a challenge and something to compete with every day as you continue to be better.
Yeah, and if you give me a dog who's supposed to do the shit, we can make that motherfucker great.
That's the point, people.
And like, so Jamil's dog, his very first dog is Creed.
Yeah.
And Creed is a bad motherfucker. Like, I like showing Creed off more than I like showing my dogs off because of how hard he hits and how clean his out is at the same time.
It's personal.
It's very personal, but it's very deliberate. But that dog is supposed to do that shit.
Yeah.
So my Boot is my very favorite dog that I've ever worked with because he's not supposed to do anything that we've done with him, and he does it. Is it as a high level? No, it's not. But he's only a year and a half old.
Well, we got some time on the clock.
He's only a year and a half old. So when he gets to be 2-3 years old, hey, Jamarcus, what's the date today?
28th.
December 28th at 8:08. Boot is gonna knock you on your ass one day.
Oh wow!
808 Heartbreak.
He's gonna knock you on your ass one day.
808. The Dream got a song called 808.
Hey,
we get that 808.
Jamarcus.
All right, we'll see, man.
And yes, we will.
Ipsy fool.
He's going to he's probably about 45 pounds, but we're gonna get him hitting so hard.
And he's gonna get bigger, right?
Nah, he's
done?
probably full grown right now. But
Okay.
we're finna. I'm gonna ask some Trevor, like, hey, what do I need to feed him to really build some muscle? I'm gonna get a meal plan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start doing more drag stuff with him. I'm gonna start doing more bungee stuff.
Yeah.
Jamarcus, he's gonna be a half a second slow one day, and he's gonna put him on his ass.
And that right there for Stan is like, I know you like when you see your dog really get active, or as you say, hit hard. That means the dog's strength is increased, confidence increased, all the little stuff, and that he's thinking intrusively about how to grow in a sense. So guys, look, in this episode, where we at time-wise, Money?
Just over an hour.
See what I'm saying? This is a better episode. Y'all know it.
Yeah, this was good.
Y'all
Absolutely.
fucking know it.
Absolutely.
Y'all
Absolutely.
fucking know it.
Yeah.
Look, I couldn't post the other one, guys. We'll post it one day, see how bad it was. But let me be very clear in saying this. Settings are everything, man.
Yeah.
You've heard the saying, there's been plenty of memes, and Oprah's done many things. Every successful person will tell you, you literally have to change everything when you want to change anything. Keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to change everything to change anything and be okay with whatever happens that needs to happen. I am glad to know these individuals because they're on the path to growth. What I'm also glad is that some of the stuff I've said is beginning to resonate. As we continue to identify how we all want to improve, I will help define what improvision looks like so that there could be less work, more results. When we say less work, we're also meaning more efficient and effective work, which is scalable versus having to go and do the work every day. And I even brought, Stan's situation up in relation to his daughter because kids need community too, but they need the right communities. Mm-hmm. And I even walked him through it. I said, had your daughter been in a high value place with less fortune, the richest white kid would have taken her in and they wouldn't have condemned her because they don't understand black, but they feel sorry for her, which would have given her leverage.
But I mean, to be truthfully honest, I couldn't afford to put her in a better situation than she was at
this moment in time. But that's when you go back and you look at the business because you say, what are my goals? How much do I need to make? And that's what we're helping with too.
Yeah, facts. No, I mean, and like I said, everything that we've talked about, it makes sense. But at literally the time,
I get it.
This is what needed to be done. And I mean, looking
Stan's a
back,
survivor, and mind you, survivors are never good to think separately or think on their own. You guys are always dangerous. You're a danger to yourself.
Yep.
I agree. No, I agree.
Because the only thing you're thinking about is, like you said, what has to happen right now versus the long game. And then look, it's kind of like in the Tupac movie. Don't let 20 seconds define 30 years of your life.
No, I mean, that's facts. And one move, and a lot of people don't understand, one yes changes your life to a lot of shit. Like, Trevor could have challenged me, and I could have been like, man, fuck this thing. I'm not finna do this shit. And I would have been probably in the same situation, if not worse. I probably would have had to go back to fucking work at the pharmacy. I probably would have had to go fucking back, get an actual job.
Listen, sheesh, nigga.
But,
You going backwards, nigga?
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
crazy, nigga.
And if
can't
I
believe
wouldn't
that,
have
nigga.
actually believed in the shit that I got in my head and the stuff that I can get a dog to do, am I the very best dog trainer in the world? Probably not. Are there probably dog trainers better? There probably are. But the shit that people want, I can definitely get your dog to do that. And if you want to do more, we can definitely do that. But I challenge people to be better because you can have the best dog in the fucking world, and if you're not good enough to communicate, you're going to lose. Like, when we go down to Space Coast, Oakley is not my best dog. She is literally not my best dog. If somebody was like, Stan, what is a dog that you want to show off? I'm not bringing that bitch out.
Who are you bringing?
I'm bringing Rocco. I was bringing Rocco. Right now, I'm bringing Boot. I'm bringing Boot out. It depends. If we're still on some gangster shit, Rocco, at 9 years old, I'm still bringing him over any dog.
Oh, yeah.
Because he has my back. We got a different kind of relationship and a bond. But obedience-wise, training-wise, Boot is my best trained dog. And it's because I had a different level of thinking when I started working with Boot. Boot is a dog that we're using for advertising. So everything he has to do needs to look like he's enjoying it, needs to look like he wants to. And that's the way that I train. But Rocco, I had to get him to that point. Well, I felt like I did. So I was a lot harder on Rocco in the early stages, but he was able to take it as well. So there's a lot of stuff that if I did with Boot, he'd be a piece of shit.
But that goes to show you, though, that's 3 different type of dogs in the right setting.
Yep. And the right setting matters most because they're like, I tell this story, we talked about it on like 4 or 5 podcasts ago, where I was furious at Rocco when he came out and was being quote unquote a bum to me, but they didn't even know he was messing up until I got upset that he was messing up. And they're like, bro, he's a dog. Like, he's going to have his day. And it was that instance that I literally like started giving my dogs more of a chance to be a dog because they're still an animal, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they're an animal. And we got to remember that. Like, we can do so much to show them how to be a human or what we want them to do, but they're still a fucking dog, bro. They're still a dog. And when you allow them to be a dog, but you show them, hey, this is what makes me happy. Like, the shit Rocco does, it's because he knows it makes me happy. Like, we come out here, I was fucking, 2 weeks ago when we had Rocco out here, I was pissed. This motherfucker ate my Starbucks cup. Like, I left him in the car. I'm like, bro, really?
Oh, man, wildin'.
I was pissed. But I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. This is not what we're worried about right now. We're trying to advertise this. When he went out there, he literally did everything I wanted him to do. He bit Jamarcus. I don't know. I think he knocked him down that day. I mean, I may not be remembering right, but
No, I didn't fall that day. I remember that.
man,
I didn't fall that
he
day.
ain't gonna admit it. He ain't gonna admit it.
Just
not
one
that
of them
day.
days.
But he literally did everything that I wanted him to do. And it's like, I could have been furious, pissed off, upset, and then he wouldn't have did shit, and we would have had it on camera, and them niggas would, like, Trev, he still would have posted the shit.
Every time.
Hey, he'd have been like, hey, Rocco was being a dumbass, da-da-da-da-da, Stan was fucked up, you don't need to be fucked up when you're working with your dog. It would have been a learning experience, and he would put us on blast. So I had to get myself together because I know how Trev is. Hey, if your dog does good, he's going to post it. If your dog makes you look like a dumbass,
He gonna post it.
he gonna post
Alls
it.
to be posted.
And that's the most important thing whenever you're working with your dog. And you take this, if you want to go back to working with dogs, like training people, they are the most important aspect in working with the dog. If you give me a dog, I can get that dog to do anything. Does that mean you're gonna be able to?
Absolutely not.
Not guaranteed. Nope.
Not guaranteed. Because the way that I'm presenting my energy to this dog, the way that I'm presenting my confidence to this dog is going to be different than you are. And if you don't believe that dog's going to do what you want them to do, they're going to make you right.
Here you go, people. So listen, we've talked about settings. Clearly, you know that everybody needs better settings. A lot of times you need to get out of your way when you're looking at settings. This is a much better episode than the original episode because you got to hear a little bit about some of the challenges that we've faced and the things we've overcome and the things that we're still dealing with here, right? Yep. You know, because the irony is Stan at times, and I'm using his as an example because he's been hard-headed and been hard on himself for no reason when, in fact, he just needed to actually follow directions. But he can get so jaded when things don't go right that you can fuck yourself up. Jalil, in this case, he's here. He wants to learn. I seem harsh, but I'm very direct, and it makes my life easy because I'm not doing this for fucking fun. If I am to make everyone's life easier or simpler, then everybody must do their job and know what that job is. Jamarcus as well, who's come from a unique background and made some choices that led to catastrophe in some cases. He's still here. You know, the beauty about still being here is he's still got a fighting chance to turn his life around, and he's just getting started. So the beauty about this whole setting thing is that everyone's growing, and that as long as we can stay in control of our settings, and we'll set ourselves up for success. So follow. Tell them your name. I keep forgetting it. Savage something.
Savagery Reptiles.
Savagery Reptiles. Follow Iron Sharp Canine. Check in with BetterBest Dog. We've got everyone here connected to train a dog. Do not contact me because I train no dogs. But we got the reptile thing. We're going to get that on lock. And I don't mean like, oh, we're going to breed the best reptiles. We want to help those people highlight where the opportunity lies in taking care of that reptile because that's the only thing that matters. Care is the most valuable thing on earth. And as you heard, I ain't met a lot of people who ever cared about me. That's the truth. Sounds like Jalil's had that problem. It sounds like at times Stan's want people to care more. I don't know. People should have cared in different ways for Jamarcus. Foundationally speaking, we all need to care in some form or fashion or at some level. At this moment in time, people, we thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe, like, share this with somebody who needs to hear it. If you are in a situation where you're trying to figure out what needs to change, remember this, the first thing that has to change is yourself.